We now move you to one of our breaking news stories. The murder trial against 5 men accused of murdering Bafana Bafana goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa has been set down to begin in October this year. The matter was back in the Boksburg Magistrate's Court this morning, where it was officially moved to the High Court sitting in Palm Ridge. Our senior politics reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo is there. Ziyanda, a very good morning to you. Some interesting developments to watch for. A pre-trial hearing for the men who are accused in this matter set for the next 7 months.
Absolutely. The pre-trial conference is taking place on the 19th of July this year. But I can tell you, this courtroom is never without a drama. Again, accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, a letter, I should say, from his previous lawyer was read out in which the lawyer claims that they had to they were no longer able to represent Ntanzi because they changed law firms. But then, when Ntanzi was given an opportunity to speak, he said that the reason why his previous lawyer is no longer representing him is because that he tried to pin the crime on him and have him plead guilty to a crime that he didn't commit. And we know then that there's been unhappiness from the accused, that they are saying they're not guilty of this crime. And another person who's unhappy with the docket is Advocate Khari Nel from the AfriForum's Prosecutions Unit. Thank you so much for your time, Khari. The matter is now set down for trial. It's going to move officially to the High Court sitting in Palm Ridge. However, the last time you were here, you had said that the main mastermind, I should say, is still on the loose. What are you going to do now? Because no new names were added onto the indictment today.
We're very disappointed. You're correct, Ziyanda. We're not going to do. We've already started. We've written letters to the NPA yesterday indicating that we cannot understand why no other people were added to the charge sheet today. Because the matter has now been transferred on an indictment. Everybody has seen the indictment. I've read the indictment. In terms of the indictment, it's a robbery that went wrong. But if there's a mastermind, I mean, that cannot be the indictment. It's then not a robbery that went wrong, but it's a contractual killing. But what's very interesting, I've consulted with my clients and they informed me that in October last year, the Minister of Police visited the family. The Minister of Police then indicated that there is indeed a mastermind and also identified the mastermind. That was October last year. So from October till now that they haven't taken action is very surprising. But what I can also add, Ziyanda, is that I've spoken to the police, I've spoken to police management, I've spoken to the investigating team. They feel very strongly that they have a strong enough case. They briefed me and I agree with them. So it's very peculiar that we haven't seen somebody added to the indictment.
Hang on a second, Khari. So what you're telling me then, as you speak about being briefed by the police, are you telling me that there are more names in the docket, but it's the NPA that's not acting on what is in the current docket that you've seen, that you've just said you're satisfied with?
Well, I haven't seen the docket. I haven't seen the docket. I've been briefed on the evidence that the police indicated is contained in the docket. So certainly, if the police tell you and I tell you that they've applied for the arrest of a 6th suspect, then you can make your own inferences. But as I'm standing here, based on the briefing I had from the police, I am surprised that we do not have a mastermind appearing today.
Can you trust the police, Khari? Again, I have to raise this because from what the family and who are your clients, they tell me that, they've told me before that there are 2 teams, and these 2 teams is exactly why this matter has taken so long to be resolved.
I've also heard that, and it's absolutely disappointing to even think that in a matter of this magnitude, as important as this matter is, that you'll have police groups within the police not agreeing with the investigating officer. But I have had consultations with the investigating officer. I understand what he has in his docket, and I'm happy with that. I've heard of another police grouping telling family members and trying to convince people that the 5 people before court now is not involved in the murder. I do not agree with it. But what I'm surprised is that police management has not taken steps against other police groupings within the police saying things to the family, trying to convince them otherwise.
Harry, there's also another matter that has come to my attention from one of the family members within the Meyiwa family, I should say, and they are claiming that you no longer represent them as the AfriForum Prosecutions Unit. Can you clarify that? Who exactly are you representing here today?
I confirm that I do not represent, what's his name? I forgot. Sifiso. I'm not representing Sifiso anymore. But brilliantly, you know what happened to me? The mother of the deceased wrote me in her own handwriting a brief and sent it to me, asking me to be involved. It's very special to me to think that in this day and age, you still get people that sit down and write a letter and send you a letter. So this brief is special to me. She, the mother of the deceased, and her daughters asked me to represent them. I've been properly briefed through a firm of attorneys to brief the mother of the deceased and her daughters.
Have you spoken to them?
I've spoken to them. They're here. You can talk to them as well. We have Zama here. We have Nomalanga here. You're welcome to talk to them and to understand what they've been going through. You know, it's been years, and there's still uncertainty about who committed the crime, what happened, and all they need is to understand what happened for them to get closure.
Well, there you have it, Mpho. That's Advocate Kharinal. He's from the AfriForum's Prosecutions Unit. A lot of issues, you know, always coming out of this court. More disappointment for Nal today, saying that, again, they were expecting new names to be added. There's a pending arrest of another 6 suspects, but this has not happened yet. And as this matter moves to the High Court sitting in Palm Ridge, he says that there's a lot of dissatisfaction from their side. There's also this issue of who exactly represents. My understanding from Senzo Meyiwa was that AfriForum no longer represents the family, but as you've heard from Kharinal, he says that he's gotten a brief from the mother and the sisters, and he's here to represent them today.
Right, let's leave it there for now. A mystery murder. As we continue to take you to other breaking news, of course, Ziyanda Ngcobo wrapping up that development coming out of the late goalkeeper of Bafana Bafana, Senzo Meyiwa.